How's it going, folks? It's Almighty Tevin here. I've been working on my Almighty Tevin impression so that I could like prank call DSP Gaming. You probably don't know who any of these people are, so don't worry about it. So let's do something else. Recently I did a video from Tech something, I can't remember the website, where I read the article about Intel possibly wanting more fair reviews for their CPUs versus Ryzen. Apparently, you know, not everybody saw my video. Only has 13,000 views, so I can't sit here and say my video blew up and everyone understood what I was saying. No, there is a huge rift in the community right now, bigger than usual, and it's been shown like on Reddit. I should find the Reddit post, but I don't feel like bothering Zill to get it. On Reddit, there's a whole thing, like a whole page dedicated to people with trusted reviews for Ryzen. I've even seen one of the reviews from Tech Deals. It's a smaller YouTube channel, not that much. It's not that small. They almost have 100K subs. But here's the thing: whereas the most bigger YouTube channels have like personalities, quotation marks. You can't see my fingers doing the quotation marks, but it's happening. Where it's focused on a personality, some guy everybody likes, you know, great camera work and lighting, depth of field. You don't get that with Tech Deals. In fact, you get a man who looks like a dad on a Hawaiian vacation, because that's the type of shirt he's wearing. I want to pass this guy like a fucking mocha latte and then ask him, is he going to go see the Coco Cabana tonight? Now, this guy here, he gives a very in-depth review of Ryzen. He talks about how each motherboard affects everything, how certain BIOSes are better than others with certain motherboard manufacturers. This will all be fixed later on. He also goes into great detail of what Ryzen can do, the architecture, how it works, and what it's geared for, which is predominantly for workstations. I mean, anyone who's doing 3D modeling, workstation, video editing, music, etc., Ryzen's the way to go. This is a game changer for guys kind of in that vein, like myself. You know, I could never get an Intel 8 core, because they damn sure weren't sending me one. I said, Intel, I would love to do an X99 build for all my video editing. And they were like, who are you? You're not Dimitri from Hardware Canucks? And then I said, it is me, Dimitri. Fuck, that's Italian. No wonder it didn't work. Point being, you know, I'm not a guy who's going to get in with anybody. I have no horses in the race. Nobody's paying me. Nobody loves me. Nobody gives a shit whether I live or die. That it goes for my family, too. Except for my cats. My cats love me. And don't you tell me otherwise. Now, the bigger YouTubers, their reviews were fairly lackluster. The most in-depth one was from Gamers Nexus. But I will admit, Gamers Nexus had me believing Ryzen was a complete piece of shit. And that AMD was using mischievous tactics while showing off their game to make Ryzen perform better in gaming. Well, you know, I'll take it as a grain of salt. Maybe there's truth to what, you know, the guy from Gamers Nexus is saying. It is my firm belief that you should not hold your values or ideas as infallible. Gamers Nexus is getting death threats and so on and so forth. So much so that Shalazar Studios threw his hat into the ring. I'm not really a fan of Shalazar Studios, honestly. I never was. I never will be. I have no bone against him, but he does have a very pretentious vibe. And somebody's probably saying like, fuck you! Well, you know what? I have to deal with people sending me messages going, you're an asshole. And I go like, well, what the fuck am I asshole for? It's just the way you present yourself. Have you ever thought that that's just my personality? That I'm not an asshole? I'm from fucking New York, asshole! Jesus Christ, have you been to New fucking York?
Maybe something you learn. You suck. You're no talent piece of shit.
We don't take shit here. Nobody's got time for bullshit in New York. You probably live in the Midwest where everybody's like, you gonna have some pie, Bessie, man? I sure is. Oh, wow, that was bad. That was bad. Oh, my God. Gundam, you're a fucking racist. Would it help if I envisioned those characters were white? Okay, less racist. So anyway, Shalazar Studio throws his hat in the ring. He's denouncing the community. I'm withholding my Ryzen benchmarks because I'm disgusted with the community right now. Disgusted. And if you have the nerve to ask me, I know I'm making his voice sound very gay and effeminate, but you know, when you're acting like this, you kind of deserve it. And if you have the nerve to ask me if I am a shill for an Intel or blah, 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 then unsubscribe and block me. And I'm just like, God, dude, calm the fuck down. It's the internet. You know, everybody gets trolled. And I'm guessing Shalazar Studios is used to people being nice to him and saying he's great and he's good looking. You know, I think he's used to that. So if somebody comes up and says something derogatory or less than beautiful for Mr. Shalazar's, he then gets very upset and kerfuffled. You know how millennials are today. They can't handle anything. They can't handle a punch to the face. They can't handle you having your own opinion. What the hell's wrong with kids today? And I looked at that video and I thought to myself, well, I'm now 100% officially done with this channel. It's not new to be insulted on YouTube. It's not new to get death threats. It's not new to have people write "fuck you" as a letter title. In fact, I get them quite often. I get a lot of nasty messages. I usually don't pay them any mind. Like, I sometimes think I'll do a read mean comments video, but then I lose the comments in all the sea of like other comments. It's just like the really good hate comment I wanted to read in a video is gone now, and I don't give enough of a shit to go through 10 pages to find it. Fuck it. But anyway, you know, just sitting there and I'm gonna withhold my benchmarks right now because the community discuss like he's a dad or something. Like, you've been very naughty and you won't be getting your gifts. Like, you know what, who gives a fuck, dude? You know, the only thing you're doing is hurting yourself in the long run, kinda, because the hype train is real. And a lot of reviewers have been getting huge subs due to the Ryzen launch. You know, if AMD gave me a fucking thing to review, it would have been great. But instead, they gave one to fucking Review Tech USA. Rich at Review Tech USA doesn't even review fucking tech. And they gave him a goddamn press kit.
Shit just got real.
That is fucking stupid. You know what AMD told me? You know what AMD told me when I went for a review sample? They were like, oh, we don't give out those, but you can join our forum where we give out gifts. It took everything I had not to blow the fuck up. It took everything I had not to go. Talk to me like a man. You want to say that I don't have enough subs for you? Fine. But it's your dumb ass giving shit to people like Unbox Therapy? Like, really? Does that guy need one? Does Review Tech USA need one? Just because they have a lot of subs doesn't mean they know shit about tech. Here's what Richie did with it. He opened it, showed it to you, and that was the video. Lottie freaking die. I learned so goddamn much about Ryzen. Brilliant. Fucking brilliant. Just for that, I should buy an Intel chip to spit in your face. But despite being snubbed, I'm still saying Ryzen's a good CPU choice for workstations, if you have one. If you're gaming, you know, Ryzen ain't bad, but it ain't exactly going to burn up the world. But then again, new architecture, only going to get better with time, so on and so forth. Are you buying a fucking CPU now, for now, this year, or are you buying a CPU that's going to be fucking relevant in 4 years or so? So there you fucking go. As time goes on, CPUs are going to need more cores, etc. Even Intel was going to like up the core count. The 4-core is going to become like the 2-core in a few years. Like, Intel is going to release, I think, what is it, Cannon Lake or Coffee Lake? I can't remember. Maybe it's Cannon Lake, where the consumer grade Intel was going to drop, was going to be a 6-core, you know? But now that Ryzen's here, maybe Intel might bump it to an 8-core. Who knows, to be honest? I don't know. I'm making speculation right now, but it is blatantly obvious in time, you know, the 4-core is going to become a thing of the past, and you're going to have, like, 6 cores are going to be the 4 cores is going to be the bare minimum, but 6 cores is going to be recommended. Didn't you just leave? Get out of here. Get the fuck out. But long story short, before my cat decided to be a douchebag, whatever the fuck you choose, it don't matter to me, you know, anymore. I don't care anymore. Nobody's paying me. I'm in nobody's pocket yet. You know, nobody has felt I'm worthy of being turned into a shell. I was like, okay, NVIDIA, send me the GTX 1080 Ti and maybe my opinions will change. And they're like, yeah, no, fuck you. It's like trying to sell your soul to the devil, and the devil's kind of like, yeah, no, I don't want that thing. You got anything else? And I should go back to the main point. Forgive me, this is going to be a rambling video. Like, how could you even be like that? So what, this is going on. If you're a journalist and you are making your living off of reviewing samples, then it is your fucking obligation to put this shit out there. No matter what the fuck happens. That's the whole point of journalism, dude. You know how many journalists have died for fucking telling, like, giving the news? And you're sitting here doing benchmarks from the safety of your fucking home. Like, for real, dude. The point being, I found it to be bitchy. Like, really. I don't take any of the hate mail I get and then put it up and complain. You know, because why? If I do take any hate messages I got, especially comments, I'll put them in a video, especially if the message is funny. Like, if the message is fucking funny, it's going in the video. Alright, that's just all there is fucking to it. But instead, these tech guys, their egos can't seem to handle it, the big ones. Even, who the hell's that bald tech guy? The one who makes crappy music. Gundam, you're an asshole! He has diabetes! My grandmother died of diabetes, dude. Just because you have a disease doesn't make your music good. That's all I'm saying. You can't hide behind that. If that's the case, I have ADD, Therefore, I need a small loan of 5 million subscribers. I have ADD. I have depression. My therapist cries when she speaks to me. So I should be treated special. Oh, a message. Am I supposed to care? Put out his 2 cents. I didn't even bother watching the video because I know if I have to watch a tomorrow video, I have to hear those drop D chords and tuning. Oh my god. Like, listen, if you like drop D, that's fine, but the guitar riffs are on the level of a 13-year-old, and as someone who bothered to be proficient at music, it's too much for me. You know, here's the new GTX 1080. Like, I'm done. I'm out. I'm fucking out. God. Fuck. Learn another tuning, dude. Jesus, why don't you try Open G or something? Something beautiful. Fuck. Dadgad, motherfucker. Play some Celtic shit. So he threw in his 2 cents, and immediately, anyone who puts up a video where they're talking about denouncing being discredited or accused of shilling makes me wonder. It makes me sit back and think, if you've got nothing to hide, why are you saying something now? You're like, why bother? You could ignore these allegations. I mean, that's the classy thing to do. Look at Obama. I mean, fucking Trump is running around going, oh, that soldier got killed in that thing. That was the Obama administration. They wanted to do it. I just signed off on it. Obama's fault he died. Or now Trump is like trying to pull the, oh, Obama had me wiretapped. Let's stop with the Russian allegations and investigate Obama. You see? That's deflecting. It's a tactic. You know what Obama's doing? He didn't even fucking reply, personally. You don't see Obama tweeting about this shit. He did have some speaker of his recently say something about the allegations being ridiculous because you need the Supreme Court. But whatever, that's my point. You know, they could have just sat back and said, fucking stupid, I'm not paying this any attention. You only give validity to something when you acknowledge it in this state. And for me personally, as a guy who's been messing around with tech, I'm not be-all, end-all, I'm not infallible. You know, I don't know everything. But I can tell you what I do know. I do know that NVIDIA launches shitty-ass fucking drivers. And a lot of the times when these new graphics cards come out, like the 1080 Ti and so on, these tech reviewers aren't going to take older drivers and go, well, there is a discrepancy here because driver 376 shows that the 90 Ti performs fucking 45 frames better than the most updated driver. No, they're not going to do that because they don't give a fuck, 1. 2, they probably don't know. And 3, if they do know, why would they tell you to make NVIDIA look bad? That happens, NVIDIA could blacklist them. Hell, Nintendo blacklists people for less. Like the Nintendo Switch, all you see are glowing reviews. But if you go on the internet and Google Nintendo Switch, you find a whole shit ton of people with Nintendo Switches that are just fucking either A, dying, their displays are scratching, the shit's made of plastic, Joy-Cons not syncing, so on and so forth. But any big review channel goes, hey, Nintendo Switch is awesome, 10 out of 10. Because they don't want to lose their review samples. If they lose their review samples, then they got to put out a review later when they get the consumer version. And that's not what they want. That's not what they need. You need those clicks. You need that ad revenue. You need to be relevant. Because of the space of time when this shit launches, if you're not a part of it, you lose subscribers, you lose money, you lose revenue, you lose influence. And that's all that really matters to these guys. That's all I feel matters to them. You can check my videos. None of them are monetized. And I'll tell you what my end game is right now. Besides hookers and blow, I would really like to get free shit myself. But then again, it wouldn't last long. Like, I had a slight sponsorship with Logitech. But when I did get it, I admittedly said that the G9 33 headset was overpriced. It was. When a cheaper headset, like this over $100 less, performs just about as well, and the microphone is vastly superior. I guess what was I expecting? Logitech to go, oh, you have a point, Chaz. That's cool. No, they were done with me. Fucking done. They were so done when my fucking Logitech mouse broke, they did not offer me a fucking replacement. They told me to eat a dick. Not in those words, but you know. I did say that the G910 keyboard, it isn't bad, technically. You know, this is probably the only thing Logitech has made that I still have that hasn't broken. Oh, my 933 still works, but that's because I don't use it. Like all my friends that went out and bought the headset because I had it, all theirs broke and they've moved on to Corsair in the course of like a year. Point being, I lost that sponsorship like that because I pretty much told it like it was. Now, do you think these guys are going to do that at this level of the game? All the money they're making? Hardware Canucks gets flown out to fucking Italy to drive a Lamborghini that has Corsair written on it. Corsair won't give me a fucking an all-in-one cooler for a CPU. I said, Corsair, I use all your stuff. I would love to review this. And then they go, fuck you, you're not Dimitri. Point being, I just find it interesting. Oh, I didn't even touch on Joker Studios and Tech City fighting each other because of Ryzen discrepancies. Yeah, man, this is all just a fucking huge mess. The only thing I could say to you as a consumer is do your own research. You know, take everything as a grain of salt and then come to your own conclusion. I'd say you're better off looking at smaller channels. I know, some people give me smaller channels, blah, 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 blah. Like, why not? Just because something has less of a subscriber count does not take away from the validity or the integrity of the video maker, honestly. In fact, I'd say a smaller channel is more trustworthy simply because they don't have shit. They've got no horse in the race. They probably have no major sponsor. So nobody gives a shit what they have to say, and they could probably tell you the fucking truth. No, I fucking told the truth in my goddamn review of this Logitech shit, but nobody really gives a fuck about that, right? Because I only got 7K subs or whatever the hell I've got. Imagine how I would have been treated by Logitech if I had, I don't know, a 700K or something. They might have fucking given me a level of respect to say you got a point. When Linus Tech Tips did a review of the same stuff, they didn't fucking say what I said. They just said that they're great. The biggest critique Linus Tech Tips had for the G933 and G966 or whatever the hell was that some people's heads the headset falls off of. That was the hugest critique. So, you know, food for fucking thought if you've even made it this far. Oh, well, fuck this shit. I'm not going to ask you to rate, comment, subscribe because it's not really worthy of it. I'm just giving you my honest opinion of what the fuck's going on right now. Fuck is. I can tell you who doesn't get special treatment. Fucking IEB me, bitch. I sit there and go, Corsair, I'd love to review this because I've been using your stuff in all my personal builds for the past 5 years. And then Corsair goes, eat a dick, you're not Dimitri. I'm like, I'll pretend to be Dimitri. Just give me something.